Hi, I'm Tim, and welcome to WatchYouWant.com. Thanks for logging on. Today, we're looking at a legend. No, make that two legends. The final results of a 50 years convergence collision course between two icons, Rolex's Submariner and the Smurfs of Belgium. This is the Rolex 116619, better known as, yes, the Smurf. This watch marked the dawn of the modern era for the Rolex Submariner. The six-digit reference, this was the first of them. When it dropped at Baselworld 2008, jaws hit the floor. Blue ceramic, blue lacquered dial, white gold. This is a watch that has it all. All of the modern innovations that we now take for granted in the Submariner line got their start with this watch in 2008. Now, it's best to note, starting from the outside, that the first major innovation you notice is the size of it. Still a nominal 40 millimeters, it wears bigger and it has more wrist presence because of what's known as the super case. Now, still nominally 40 millimeters, if you measure the diagonals here and here, excluding the lugs and the crown, it nevertheless has broader shoulders. It flares out more. And aside from those key points right here, it is a bigger watch. It weighs more. And when you're looking at precious metal, that's a good thing because you're getting more gold too. But it also has the wrist presence to compete with something like a 42 millimeter Royal Oak Offshore or a Hublot 44 millimeter Big Bang. Today, this watch, because it's so classically designed, widely recognized, beautifully crafted, and again, just because it has the presence of a real elder statesman model, it can hold its own even against those 45.5 millimeter Hublot Big Bangs and those 44 Royal Oak Offshores, because this watch has presence, not just as a Submariner, but as a fairly unique Submariner. This combination of blue and white gold is completely unique in the history of the Rolex Sub, and this is not the blue that you might remember from the 16613, the two-tone with the sort of soleil sunburst metallic dial. This is more like a almost like a sapphire type blue, really quite gorgeous. It's somewhere between sapphire and cobalt, but it's like a lacquer. It looks deep. It doesn't look metallic. It looks wet. It looks like wet paint on a hot rod, and it has gorgeous luster to it. This watch features what's known as the Maxi Dial. It got its start on the Yachtmaster of 1992. Bigger indexes, bigger white gold applied indexes, triangles and circles, also bigger white gold hands. It's more visible, but it's also more upscale. And again, anytime you're getting more precious metal, that's a good deal for you, the watch owner. Now, beyond that, the watch also features a ceramic bezel insert. This one actually features deposited platinum inside little wells that are machined into the ceramic. So this is a lot of material technology going on. All of it Rolex in-house, because Rolex not only makes its own gold and its own platinum, but it also creates all of its own material technology, so none of this is farmed out to a third party. This is a lot of in-house watchmaking competence. Now, the great thing about ceramic is that it's as scratch resistant as a sapphire crystal. So this watch, you know, some like patina, but this watch will never have that scratch defaced, grooved and etched look of an old Rolex Sub. I think that's a good thing, especially on a gold watch, especially on an upscale product. It'll never have a weathered, beaten look to it. It's going to look new for a long, long time. And short of any kind of trauma that would otherwise imperil your wrist itself, this watch is probably never going to suffer any scratches or scuffs to its crystal or its bezel insert. And you can see that although bigger, on my 6 1/3 inch wrist, this watch wears quite nicely. Now, once adjusted, the bracelet is the same comfortable, ergonomically sound, 3-link, alternately brushed and polished Rolex Oyster bracelet that we've all come to know and love. Again, the modern era of Rolex is solid end links, solid bracelet links, a milled clasp, and in this case, another debut on the Submariner of 2008 was this milled out Oyster Clasp with two significant features. One of them being the milled status itself. It feels like it's made out of one piece of metal, so much sturdier, so much more confidence-inspiring and upscale than the old stamped piece. But that's only the beginning of the story, because Rolex incorporated what's known as glide lock. Now, glide lock, you can see the little detents right there, allows you to move in 2 millimeter increments up to 20 millimeters to auto size the watch, whether you want to fit it over a dive suit, whether your wrist is expanding or contracting, with changes in temperature when you're working out. With this much adjustability, it's fairly easy to also buy the watch and give it as a gift without giving your game up and having to ask about wrist size. If you can even estimate, this gives you a lot of adjustability. Again, almost an inch, all of it tool-free, I should say, and in 2mm increments. Very practical, adds a tremendous amount of value to the watch. And because the watch does have that gorgeous Oyster Clasp, which just operates, I gotta say, beautifully, closes with a thunk, a snap, a snick. It's like a rifle bolt. Everything about this watch in weighty 18-karat Rolex white gold, from the case itself to the bracelet and the clasp, it just feels like a premium product. A lot of times Rolex is considered to be the Mercedes-Benz of watches, but I would have to say that in the modern era, as Rolex has embraced its identity as an upscale manufacturer, a luxury watchmaker, they've maybe even outgrown that comparison. I think they deserve to be compared to something a little bit more upscale, perhaps a little bit more refined even than Mercedes-Benz. So I'm open to suggestions if you guys have them. But this Rolex 116619, the Smurf, certainly is the business in terms of refinement, craft, execution, and the mechanics inside. Because Rolex also debuted its Parachrome Blue hairspring in the 3135 movement that debuted with the 2008 Rolex Submariner. So this also features the latest mechanical refinements to the model line as well. Anti-magnetic, more shock resistant, and temperature resistant. It's just a better heartbeat for a chronometer rated movement. 50-hour automatic power reserve. The watch can energize itself, and again with the jump date and that auto winding capacity, this could be your only watch. I think this is one that could pull double duty, formal and informal. Honestly, if you wear this thing on your wrist all the time, congratulations, you are the man, because this is the watch that can do it all, and I'm glad you got the confidence to wear it like it deserves to be used. This is not one to lock away in the safe. This shouldn't be a safe queen. This should be someone's daily driver. It's tough. It's a Rolex, after all, and Rolex earned that name for a reason. That brand equity is all in the durability, the longevity, the desirability of the watches themselves. It all comes back to product. Once the hype is gone, the publicity is discarded. Once you do your homework and you find out what Rolex is really about, you find out they really are that accurate. Among mechanical watches, they really are that tough. They really are heirloom quality watches. And when you have one that's as unique as the Smurf, all I can say is that goes double. So check out this Rolex 116619 white gold ceramic latest reference Rolex Submariner on our website, watchyouwant.com. Honestly, like I said, if you make this thing your daily driver, see it with a 100% complete set. But if you make this thing your daily driver, you know, just as Mercedes isn't quite sufficient to describe the quality and refinement of Rolex today, I don't think Smurf is sufficient to describe this watch. Honestly, this thing is Pappa Smurf. And if you wear it on your wrist and you go to war with this one on a daily basis, I don't care where you're taking it. You are Pappa Smurf. I'm Tim, and this is watchyouwant.com.